Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm, I am going to show you how to play Azmo in a ranked game. And in doing this, we're going to talk about the draft, we're going to talk about the map, we're going to talk about all sorts of shit, and it's going to be good. So this is a YouTube video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. I promise we'll be doing more drafting Storm League games with characters that you probably don't see a whole lot, but it might take a little bit to happen because there is a lot that goes into picking these characters in the right situations. But thanks again for everything you guys do. The sub count keeps going up and it makes me feel really good, and I'll keep doing the videos for as long as we can do them. But Azmo, at the end of the day, is a very niche pick, I think, for what we need to do. So we're actually going to talk about the draft and why it made so much sense to pick him before this game pops off. So, ooh, level 1 fight underway. Looks like Artanis is going to be the first blood. Diva Mech is on its way out as well, and our laser is going to hurt Kira so bad. Ooh, and the dunk to seal her fate. Now, the draft went a little bit something like this. You can see the enemy team had first pick. I'm not super sure why they went for Kira. We're over on the right side of the screen, BTW. But Kira was their first pick, and then they followed that up with the ETC and the Lily after all the bans have gone through. So no Hogger, no Tychus from the enemy team, and no Garrosh, no Cassia from our team. So when I see those three characters in the first 2 rounds of picking, I'm thinking, holy shit, there's no wave clear on that team. And Dragonshire is an extremely important map to have wave clear on. So if you don't clear, you don't get through the bottom 2 lanes, you don't get merc camps, you don't get shit. Now, our team picked up the Diva and the Zul'jin in the first 2 slots, which are amazing picks for basically every map. Well, Diva is. Zul'jin, you could probably argue that. But anyway, Zul'jin's still pretty strong in the meta at the current moment. And taken away from the enemy team. So if they were going to pick it up, now they're not, and we're happy about that. The next round of, let's see. No, that's how it goes. So after that, the enemy team picked up ETC and Lily, and then we picked up Joe, and then the second ban happened. Enemy team thought that Brightwing was going to be important to us on this map, and we wanted them to have even less wave clear, so I told my banner in chat to get rid of anything that has clear, and he opted for Kael'thas, which is probably not a very horrible ban, but also not the best I can think of. Regardless, the enemy team, after all that was done, we got to pick up Johanna and Anduin after the second set of bans. So both incredibly strong, just again well-rounded characters. Johanna, a tank with a lot of wave clear, really important again on this map. And the Anduin's going to give basically all of our characters an undo button if we ever get into really, really bad situations with the ETC or the Kira, and things are just going to be really nice and fun for us there. So the enemy team is going to, after that, close out their draft with Artanis and Nazeebo. Now, looking at Nazeebo, you might think there's some wave clear there, but it's all very slow, and it does have to scale. So early game, if he isn't doing a good job maintaining all the lanes, he's not going to have a good time. Now, and this is the point that I'm picking Azmo. I've been highlighting Azmo this entire time because of the ETC and the Lily and the Kira, but that just makes it all the easier for me to pick this. And my team is feeling it. We're looking at the draft like, heck yeah, man, this is going to work. So we lock the Azmo in so I can get some big macro pressure, and we can finally get back to the game. So transition back over to this bad boy. Now, the whole reason that Azmo is going to be really, really good here is because he can clear waves really quickly once we hit level 7, and he can beef up your own team's waves to make them even harder for the enemy team to clear. So all that, his damage is okay. I'm going to be honest with you, his damage isn't the focus of the build. It's just going to be kind of extra damage on top of what our team can do as our Zul'jin dies to a fadeaway Lily Blind, which is a little bit upsetting, but at the same time, can't do much about it. Looks like Kira might eat a laser for her troubles. Down she goes. More stacks for us, more aggression on our side, and we're into it. Now, the abilities that you need to be most aware of on this character are going to be your E and your D. When you're playing this character to get maximum effectiveness in your lanes and your map, you want your, number one, you want your Demon Lieutenant, which is on a 60-second cooldown in the lane that it is going to get the most value out of. So what you're going to see a lot in this game is me swapping to other lanes, dropping the Demon Lieutenant where the waves are going to push, or the enemy team isn't reacting enough to them, or maybe they're in some desperate need of defense. Either way, the Demon Lieutenant is going to be extremely good at helping those waves push, because he's going to instantly kill one minion with his ability, and I think he can do that every 7 seconds. So he lasts 20 seconds. He's going to be able to do that at least 2 times every time that he's alive. And all those minions that he kills instantaneously, fuck you, Artanis, you're going to get the XP for those no matter what. Anything that the Demon Lieutenant last hits, you're also going to get XP for, and you don't have to be anywhere near them to get that XP. So that's how that minion XP shit works. And just remember, you want to put him in a lane where he's not going to die immediately, he's going to last his full duration, and he's going to push the hardest. So, good stuff. Good things. The other one is your E. Now, recently, Azmo got a buff to his E that the used to be when you were channeling your E on target, if the target died, you wouldn't get any of the bonuses of the full channel, which is kind of shitty. But now, if you channel your E on a target and then it dies, you are going to actually get the benefits of the talents that you take, meaning that the wave clear talent that you get at 7 and anything else that you pick up for this ability later on are going to benefit really quickly, potentially. So it's very, very, very good at wave clear, very good at dealing damage, just really good all around. The ability is far and away, I think, the best ability in Azmo's kit at the moment. Even though he's considered the Dunk Lord, I will always stand by the laser as the unsung hero of his entire kit. You can see it right now. Oh my god, he had me back up. I hate it. Please leave me alone. I'm just trying to kill minions, man. Fuck off. Now, we don't care a whole lot about stacking with Azmo in this game, but it does happen. Things are going to give us stacks. So we've got 86 at the moment at level 7. It's not bad. We've been hitting people with our Qs, we've been hitting minions with our Qs, and we get some additional stacks from hitting with our laser as well with some of the talents that we picked up here. But your Q, it's big AoE, it does a decent chunk of damage to minions, it's going to help you, and it's not the worst thing in the world. That being said, again, I don't think it's a super important part of Azmo's kit when it comes to playing this way, because macro is so much more important focus than dealing damage with the character. Your W, Summon Demon Warrior, I mentioned it earlier, it's not as important as your E or your D, but it's still going to help your waves push. Those waves are going to do more damage. I don't know what's going on here. I just want to do the camp. Yeah, she's got robot. I think she's got that covered. Just trying to keep my eye on it while doing the camp at the same time. Because our range is so huge, we're going to have an easy time helping. And now it looks like Artanis, ooh, he dashed out of my range, but still going to die, even though that was some pretty flashy shit. Now, the Demon Warriors, they're going to do Burning Rage type damage, which is just AoE damage as I get hit by the Kira E, and I need to leave. I'm probably dead. Yeah, I'm just mega dead. Nothing I can do to get out of there. But they're going to deal auto attack damage and they're going to deal burning damage, which makes them push waves just passively very hard. So you want to put your demons into waves that need to push real hard, or waves that you need to stop from pushing really hard. Enemy waves that are going into your tower, if there's no minions there, demons last a fair amount of time. So they will draw the aggro of the enemy minions, and suddenly your towers have a bit of a buffer to do damage to minions. It's very strong for keeping your buildings alive, keeping your minion wave alive. It's It's good stuff. But again, not as important as your D or your E, which are the cornerstone of the way that this character plays these days. You can see it right there, 1 E on an almost dead minion, and the whole thing just evaporated. It's fantastic. I love it. Oop, Joe helping me get a bunch of stacks. Love her for doing that. Now our ultimate, we're taking Demonic Invasion. Not going to take Black Pool, is that what it's called? Tide of Sin. Tide of Sin is the one that buffs your Q, makes it deal a whole bunch more damage. But get that out of here. I am going to summon demons on buildings because the enemy team is going to have an impossible time clearing them with all the anti-wave clear that they have. And we are going to get such a huge macro advantage that eventually the buildings are just going to fall over on their own. And I have every confidence that my team is ready to build on that. Yeah. So now that there's 2 people dead on the enemy team, I have a whole bunch of room to just attack the building and the minions. Or maybe just make some space for the dragon to do that, because ETC is hanging out in the bottom lane for some reason, auto-attacking minions because he ain't got no clear. Ooh! Are you seeing a pattern here? The counter to no wave clear is lots of minions. It's pretty cool stuff. Now the build, we can just kind of knock it out here. You're going to be taking Greed at 1. Now Greed, the quest reward that you're going to get for this after hitting 200 stacks is increasing the range of your laser. Oh my god, that was a guillotine. I didn't even realize, but it looked really painful. So getting the stacks is really good still because you want the laser to be buffed, but at the same time, just getting 20% more damage to non-heroic targets makes pushing with Azmo really, really, really easy. So your Q is going to do more damage, your E is going to do a whole bunch of damage, your W is doing it's all really good for wave clear. You could also take Wrath if you really get stuck in the the off lane playing this character, which I don't recommend, but it can happen. Now your W is going to be what we're going to buff at 4. This is an auto attack talent, but it is basically giving you the opportunity to make more demons. So every time that you auto attack, you're going to reduce the cooldown of both your Demon Warrior and your Demon Lieutenant, which is the most important part. Demon Lieutenant cooldown is on a 60-second cooldown. Any amount of time that you can take off of that means that you have wave clear in lanes that you don't have to be present for. So it's more macro pressure. It's going to hurt in places that the enemy team has to respond to, and you can just click on with a relative ease. So the talent itself reduces them by different amounts. The Demon Warrior cooldown is only 0.75 seconds, but the Demon Lieutenant is 1.5 seconds for every auto. And this doesn't have to be on heroes, this can be on anything. So any auto attacking that you're doing is reducing the cooldown of both of those abilities significantly. So you can see us put down a lot of minions on these merc camps so that they're easier for us to take because of that talent. So it's really good for merc camp clearing. It's really good for pushing waves. Just really, really good in general. The other talents at this tier don't really synergize with what we're going. Double Demon Warrior sounds good, but the increased cooldown is really kind of not great. Hellforged Armor, it's not bad. I mean, you could definitely make things last longer, and you'll get more out of your Demon Lieutenant, but it doesn't do much for you in the way of camp clear. So that's the reason that we're taking Battleborn instead, and that's basically going to be the most effective talent on the tier, I think. D.Va dying on the wrong side of the map for some reason. We're just about to hit 16, so I don't want to go anywhere near that objective while the enemy team runs forward. Hopefully my team just doesn't... Okay, well, it looks like they're just getting mosh-pitted and spirited, and I don't want to be anywhere near them. It's okay. Looks like things could have gone better. Joe's going to eat it as well. But all the waves are pushed really, really hard. D.Va did die for the camp, so that's going. The rest of my team didn't have to die, but even if the enemy team takes the dragon here, really, it's going to be pretty easy to clear because they have to just run it down the middle lane or run it down a lane that doesn't have any minions in it and eat a whole bunch of tower shots. you can see why the defense is easy. So us staying alive there is more important because we don't want the enemy team to just get free push, and Azmo is pretty good at defense, just period. Really good at macro. Got the quest completed at the 11-minute 22-second mark. It's never really a focus throughout the game, so here we are. Now our 7 talent, Master of Destruction, you've probably seen it so far a couple times, but what it's going to do is it's going to put a big old circle around the target that we're channeling our E on, and if it lasts the full duration, it's going to explode and deal bonus damage in an AoE. If we hit heroes with that, they're going to give us 4 stacks, which is a pretty significant amount too, which makes your laser even more cool than you thought it was just a little while ago. I don't know why we're fighting. It is a 4 versus 4 right now. I'm coming up to make it a 4 versus 5, hitting a dunk on the Artanis, watching... Oh no, okay, well this is just falling apart quick, isn't it? Ooh, can we get the damage? Big laser there, more dunking and trampling and just so much stuff happening. Turns out Lily isn't very good at keeping people alive when all the damage is AoE. Who would have guessed? Now, Master of Destruction is your entire wave clear in Azmo's kit. So if you're not taking this at 7, you're basically telling your team that you're all Q for wave clear, which is kind of shitty. Because if you have to use your Q for damage on heroes, which I'm assuming you're doing if you're not building for Master of Destruction, then you're not going to clear with it, or vice versa. I mean, you can see where I'm going, right? Anyway, I still like laser better. 10, Demonic Invasion, talked about it. All the little grunts explode, they deal damage to buildings, they hurt really hard when the enemy team doesn't clear them, and the enemy team can't clear shit. 13 is going to be Chain of Command. Cooldown of Demon Lieutenants' Smite is reduced by 2 seconds, and they grant 25% increased damage to nearby friendly minions, mercs, and Azmo's summoned demons. Now, the 2-second cooldown on the Demonic Smite is really important because it's every 5 seconds currently, which means they can do that. Did that change? Wait a minute. I think the tooltip actually adjusted when we took the talent. That's weird. Because this is 7 seconds normally, because you could only get 2 of them. And now you can get 4 of them. That's nice. I didn't know they did that. But, like I said, 4 Demonic Smites per summon of Demonic Lieutenant is basically half the wave, if there is any wave left over after everything's already been killed. So, it's 4 easy minions worth of XP. It's just going to push the wave really hard. Not to mention, it's going to give you a whole bunch of increased damage on all the other pushes. So if you're hitting merc camps with it, if you're hitting big ranged minion waves with it, it's going to just slap. Unfortunately, it looks like it's about dead here. So I'm just trying to be on the part of the map where the enemy team is not. They're trying to deal with the dragon, and my team is doing an expert job keeping them distracted. So we've got our Demonic Invasion going, all of our Demon Warriors, we've got a Catapult too. I want to get away from Kira, even though we're 21 to 19. She's still a little bit scary in the solo, so let that go away. I've taken Trample at 16, and I know somehow this is a controversial opinion amongst Azmo players, but Trample is a 20-second cooldown that's going to give you a dash. The damage and the slow on the dash is fine, whatever, but it gives movement to a character that has no movement. And that is going to make it really, really easy to get away from certain death in cases where, you know, that's not possible with a character like this. So I think that's perfectly worth taking. Siegebreaker, the reason that we're taking that is just to upgrade the damage that we're doing with our Demonic Invasion. You can see all the buildings are dead, and the Demonic Invasion did have quite a bit to do with that. So killing buildings is really important. Making your ult do more damage, really, really, really important. It's all around best to buff your R. Unless you need to take the E upgrade, which is totally fine too. The laser is really good for team fights. If you're doing more team fighting than you are pushing, fine to take it, but, you know, live your life. Mostly, it's a macro build, so that's what I'm focusing on. 276 at the end of the game. It's not bad when we're not really trying very hard to do it. We've got Greed at 1, Battleborn at 4, Master of Destruction at 7, Demonic Invasion is your 10, Chain of Command is your 13, Trample at 16, fuck yeah, and Siegebreaker at 20. I wish this would summon like one big minion with the ability, like the Siegebreaker Assault Beast from actual Diablo 3, but I understand that they can't make whole new assets for the thing. That'd be too much to ask, I'm sure. Anyway, that's going to be it for Azmo today. Again, this was a ranked video. This is right around the lower end of Diamond. I believe there might have been Plat players in this game as well, but there you have it. Based on the other team's draft, I can already tell you that we were certainly on the lower end of player qualification. And they got dragged all over the map, won a couple team fights, but didn't really do anything for him because this character is so good at map control. It's nuts. It's like an Abathur who's fun. Yeah, let that sink in. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow. I am not sure what with just yet, but we'll see how that goes. I will catch you there. Peace out.